Mic's on. Great. Green light's on. Okay, welcome. Welcome. I think we're live. Everybody, I think we're live. We're gonna do it live right now. Starting now. It's Naked and Famous Denim Day.
Indeed.
What day is it today? December the 9th. It's the 10th here in Japan. It's December 9th for many of you. Welcome everybody to the Naked and Famous Denim weekly live stream. We are streaming live from Yokohama, Japan. My name is Bahzad.
I'm Risa.
And we are from Naked and Famous Denim. Here to answer your denim-related questions, concerns, review stuff from the brand, whatever other topics happen to arise. You know me. I can't avoid a good rant. I'm sure I'll rant at some point about something. Whatever it is, we're here to hang out with the best, the greatest raw denim community in all of the universe. Not just our galaxy, but the universe. Right?
Other galaxies have raw denim communities.
Probably.
You think?
I think so. I think there's got to be a couple, but this is definitely the best one. Voted number one in the universe by you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Everybody, welcome. Let's we've got some familiar faces here in the chat. Let's say hello to everybody. We've got Johnny Crumhorn. Welcome. Alien Wayfarer. Hello. Beanie, what did I miss? You're here right on time, sir. You're not gonna miss a thing. Rights W5. Hello from Birmingham, UK. Alien Wayfarer. Hello from Newfoundland, Canada. Nicholas Viplu, welcome. Francisco Michael, +1 for doing it live. Hello from Villa Park, Illinois. Welcome. Mohammed Rakib Dural, Kuala Lumpur, representing. Good morning. Brainstar, hello, everybody. Abel S, hello from France. Welcome. Shane Delhunty, hey, from Vancouver, Washington. Welcome. Richard the Great, TGIF, what's up, everyone? What's up is the Naked Famous Denim live stream. That's it. All right. We've got Jadeon. Hello. Hi from New Jersey. Wearing my unbranded 22 ounces. Good man. Those are new. They're starting to sell out. For those people who might be waiting on those.
Some sizes.
Yeah. Sizes are starting to go. And we could talk a little bit more about that in the stream. Stuff that's good for Christmas items. I think that could be a fun topic because I know we're getting a big influx of messages through just emails and stuff. What should I get? I'm buying for somebody. How should I do that? So we can talk a little bit about that during the stream. I should write that down that we're going to talk about that during the stream. Otherwise, I'm going to forget that because I have a short-term memory. How to shop for a gift.
But you also have a very, very long-term memory. Your memory from your young days are so detailed.
It's because I had time to remember. I had a lot of time to watch a lot of television. But anything modern, I have it's full. The hard drive's full. It's over. Richard the Great says, hello, what's up from Texas? Hello. The Catman greeting from Chicago. Nicholas Viplu, this week in Tokyo, it was finally cold enough to wear my heavyweight denim. It has been getting colder here.
It's winter. It's officially winter.
It's Japanese winter. So depending on where you are, if you're in the north, you got some snow. If you're where we are, not a lot of snow. Still positive temperatures. Just cooler.
It does change the vibe, though. Like, the air's crisp.
Yeah.
And it tends to be sunny, I find. Like, winters.
Yeah, maybe.
Sunny and cold.
Right.
Like, when it's sunny and cold, that's winter.
Yeah.
In the fall time, when it's sunny, it gets hot.
I see.
It gets warm. Yeah.
Right. I don't like it when it rains here. It just rains all day, and it's cold, and it rains and it's cold.
Hasn't happened in a while.
Richard the Great, it's 75 degrees in Houston. It's perfect in Houston, it seems. Paradise. Okay. Are you guys, Mohammed Rakib writes, are you guys planning any sashiko denim? Yes. There's your answer to that. Yes. We will have some. We have some interesting weaves coming up. We were just doing some mill tours last week, and seems like forever ago, but it was only last week.
Yeah, we got some ideas on a lot of things.
Yeah.
Exciting ones.
Yeah. remember for a while we were doing a lot of those like out there weaves, like the
We had Sakiori.
the
We had
Sakiori denim, the tatami denim. Yeah, there's more of that to come. There's definitely some weird ones. That's really weird out there. Like if you're a fabric nerd, you're gonna love these because they're so out there. But right now we're dialing it in. We're talking spring summer 24. Like that's what we're working on right now. In a couple of weeks, we're gonna be showing fall winter 23. Spring summer 22 is coming out.
23 is coming out.
Spring summer 23 is coming out.
Yes.
We're finishing up fall winter 22. We're still fall winter 22. There's 4 seasons in my brain right now.
Yes, because
Yeah.
this season, like fall winter 22, should have been like done and over with by now,
Maybe,
and then we
yeah.
can move our brain from fall 22 to completely fall 23. So there's only one fall in your brain.
Yeah.
But this year it's
Yeah.
lingering.
There's one more release that'll be coming out, the blanket line denim. So that's scheduled to come out next Friday. We're shipping those to stores right now. So I know some retailers are getting it at the moment. So yeah, blanket line denim coming very, very soon. I've got the sample here. We'll talk about that also during the stream. So a couple things to look forward to there. All right, we'll check in with the chat to see where everyone's checking in from. David Balterra, good evening from South Texas. Welcome. Brendan, your ecru slubs are looking great. Saw it on IG. Right, I'm wearing them right now. Actually, my Indigo Invitational pair of the raw cotton slubs. They're fading quite well. Well, they're not really fading. They're picking up kind of nastiness. But one thing I did notice that makes them look a little bit dirtier than they really are is the fact that the slub yarns are so fat and they kind of pick up shadows, right? So the shadow, like sometimes the lighting makes it look a little bit more grimy than it really is. Mind you, they are a little grimy. It's been a few months since I last washed them, but the first wash happened at like 6 months. They were filthy. They were disgusting. So they
It was
had
also kind of like after the summer.
yeah.
Yeah. So
After the
great.
summer, a lot of travel in the warehouse, a lot. So they picked up just a lot of, nastiness.
Yeah.
They got washed. I've been wearing them pretty sparingly since then. But yeah, I think they're looking pretty good. And I think that this is a good way to show off how ecru denim, number one, you don't have to worry too much about it as far as getting stains. Because I stained the crap out of them. I mean, I really made them as filthy as I possibly could, and washing them really reset them very nicely. So when I posted this image, there were a couple comments on the IG, and some people were a little bit kind of taken aback by the fact that I was like, ruining this pair. They thought like, hey, that's like a clean, whitish kind of jean. Why would you stain them? You want them to remain, they're like, they're giving their jeans the white glove treatment. And I just explained that, number one, I'm doing it for the Indigo Invitational. So like my aim is actually to destroy them. But also with this, it's part of it is showing that you don't actually have to give an ecru denim the white glove treatment. You could actually wear them pretty hard. They can take it. Stains that are going to get in there, unless it's like, permanent ink or something like that, it's going to wash off. It's going to come off. So you don't have to baby them so much. And then another reason I like wearing these for the year is to show that you can go all year with an ecru denim. Right? Ecru isn't just for the spring. You can easily wear these in the fall. You can wear them in the winter. The neat thing about the color, like the natural cotton color, is that it's light enough for the spring summer, but it's also warm enough a tone that it matches very nicely with most fall types of colors, oranges and browns and creams and things like that. So it's it ends up being a very all year kind of jean. So
yeah. One thing I learned from you wearing these jeans for however many months is that can you stand up really quick? This part of jeans gets so dirty.
Yeah, but that's my phone. This is from my phone. This is from the leather. It's like a fake leather or whatever it is from my case. That's what that is. It's not my hands. It's the phone.
It's like, that's gross. Let me see the other side.
See, the other side's nothing because I don't keep my phone here. That's all. That's all from my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's not because I. Yeah, it's that's what I. 100% is from my phone. So there you go. I'm not as gross as you think.
No, it's just like because you don't see these things, right? When you're wearing like, blue jeans, like you might see where your face are, but you don't necessarily see where your grimy things are.
That's true. So yeah, I guess that's another thing that's neat about my particular pair. The way I'm wearing them is that you will see the filth, right? When you have a dark indigo denim. You can
pretend like
you can pretend like it's not there.
Yeah.
It's definitely there, but so anyways, I hope you guys enjoy my adventure in crew denim. I know it's a little bit different from what everyone else is wearing for the Indigo Invitational. I mean, last year I wore my solid blacks. This year it's this. I don't know what I'll wear next year. We'll see and we'll find out. But yeah, it's gonna be an adventure. Indigo, that's what it's all about. I mean, I'm not doing it for obviously I'm not doing it for any of the prizes. I'm not, let me put it this way. Even if I won a prize, which I would hope the judges would know not to include me in this, I'm just not going to accept the prize.
You're not going to get a free jean from like some other friend. What are you going to do with them?
So, I'm just doing it to be part of the group and, some camaraderie and, that kind of stuff. But, Vitaly already ordered my blanket line from Muttonhead. When is the coat going to be released? So Muttonhead has the blanket line denim available right now. The coat, there's going to be a chore coat that's coming. There will be a kimono shirt. There are 2 other coats. There is a zip chore coat and the long coat for ladies. These 2 items may or may not get made.
Yeah.
The production for this jean has kind of taken so long that on our production schedule for those 2 jackets, they were coming in like end January basically, and I think that might have been just too late in the season to launch a fall winter jacket. February, March, I mean, you might get 1 or 2 months of like maybe even April, depends where you are living. Canada, it doesn't really start getting warm until May, but I think a lot of people are thinking, spring stuff at that point. So it might, I thought it might be a little bit late. We might make a very, very small batch of them, but they were too late to kind of make it for the fall winter production line. So yeah, sorry for those who are waiting for it. I really wanted to release those. But we will still have the fabric in stock. Maybe we'll do it next year and release them, in August or something early in the fall so you get a lot more wear out of it for the season. But yeah, that's just, those are some of the breaks when it comes to production. We're not making in China where the production lines are humongous. We've got a small, relatively, comparatively small production line when it comes to some mass factory. So sometimes not everything goes your way. Our line is big. All things considered, our line is big. So we make a lot of products. Maybe we might have to trim down a little bit to accommodate to make sure that we can put out everything at an appropriate time.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of things went wrong this season. I feel like it wasn't just one thing that delayed us. It was just a bunch of things.
Yeah.
But I mean, we learn lessons from these. So hopefully, we get better scheduled.
Yeah.
For next season.
Some things are out of your control. I mean, sometimes
Right,
shipping and fabrics arrive late, and then you got to move the production schedule around. You're promised a certain amount of fabric and you don't get it, and just certain things like that can happen. So it's there's a lot of factors.
Yeah.
Okay. Abel S writes, any update on JoJo collab? Giorno fabric is ready. JoJo collab is finalizing approval. Just with the whole package, the product, so all that stuff. It's not on. Again, this was one of those things where I was hoping to have it out this holiday season, but approval processes and slow down. There was a lot of things, a lot of hiccups. But it's looking like it might get pushed into spring, so maybe a little bit later in the spring. I don't know. It could even get pushed into the fall, depending on certain things like releasing a heavyweight denim in the spring. Maybe it's better suited for the fall, like the JoJo denim, things like that. So
yeah, but it's also that we have a lot of release coming in spring as well, so we have to kind of manage ourselves so that we're not releasing so many products all at the same time.
Yeah.
That's kind of too much for us to handle.
There's also the JoJo stuff is going to be a Tate and Yoko Naked Famous Denim NYC exclusive. So with that said, we have to prioritize our spring summer 23 production line because that has to go out to our retail partners first. So there's that as well. So the release schedule for that is very up in the air right now. And
but these are not going away. These are certainly coming.
They're coming. It's coming.
I can promise you that.
Yeah.
It's just we don't know when yet.
Yeah. It's part of the I let you guys know early, but so
there's a negative side to that.
There's a negative side to that is that if I say something and it doesn't happen, it's not me, being malicious or anything. It's just this is the way production works, and you're not gonna see it, otherwise because other people aren't giving you the the background, the inside, like we are here. We're just
yeah.
I'm riffing with you guys. I'm just letting you know stuff, and sometimes things don't work out the way I would love them to work out. But I'm sure you'll love the jeans when they do come out. They are coming. They're going to be very exciting. I will have. I keep saying I'm supposed to have samples soon, but you guys have heard that for a while. Hopefully soon. I have to. I need to get it. Anyways, we need to get the spring summer 23 samples here. So we're expecting a sample shipment shortly, relatively soon. Relatively. What does that mean? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks? I don't know. Well, as soon as I know, you'll know. Okay. Alex K. No, the chore coat was so nice. I was going to nab one. Chore coat is coming. Zip chore coat.
He says the zip.
Oh, did he write zip?
Yeah.
I can't read.
Yeah.
That's probably it. I hear you. Francisco Michael, my favorite part of the stream is when Bahzad spills the spoiler beans. Oh yeah, I spill everything. I cannot keep a secret. It's impossible. Kevin Varela, is the dirty fade still happening? Yes, the double dirty fade is happening. That's for sure.
Now everybody's doubting.
No. That's
it's very rare for us to cancel anything.
Yes,
it's
rare.
When you see it, when you see us show you samples, it's most likely going to be made. It's just certain things that we can't avoid. Especially I don't think we would cancel jeans that we announce.
No,
that's very, very, very unlikely.
Yeah, it's very unlikely. Like a fit, something like that, is possible, right? Yeah, this is just a production space thing where it's here we can make it. We have the fabric for it, but we also only have a certain capacity of production every week. And it's do we make these jackets that are probably too late to deliver? Most of our retail partners, they're not going to be taking fall winter jackets in February. It's just not happening. So do we make these, use up that production space where we could be making something else that we can deliver now that people are going to be selling, people are going to want. So it's it's a balancing act there. But yeah, look, the reality is we still have the jacket, we still have the fabric, and we still have a factory, and there are many, many months ahead. So likely we will at some point re-release that at an appropriate time of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cheddar Buttersworth, hello from Vancouver in some simple left-hand twills. They may be simple, but it is one of our best-selling fabrics, most popular fabrics, the fabric that's available in the most things. So
100%.
yeah, it is one of my best faded, I would say my best faded pair of jeans ever is a pair of left-hand twill. Easy guys, big fan. We have the chore coat. Speaking of chore coats, we have the chore coat in the left-hand twill available now. So that's on Tate and Yoko, Naked Famous Denim NYC. So if you're looking for that's a great jacket. I would really love to see that one heavily faded.
It might take a while.
Might take a while. Yeah, jacket. The thing with jackets is they eventually will fade nicely. It's just that unlike your jeans, you tend not to wear them every day. But with a chore coat, you might be able to, depending on depending on your situation, especially if you are a physical laborer type, then that might be something you can wear every day. Fun jacket, nevertheless. Siggy Slug writes, will the Wonder Looper clothes layer well? Living in North Sweden, walks bicycles to work. I would say yes. I wear my double heavyweight t-shirt and my double heavyweight hoodie. I layer those often. Like for Japanese winter, like I find that is a good amount. Like I don't leave the house with a heavy coat on. Like
I mean that's so much like weight on you.
Yeah, it's a lot of weight.
It's a thick layers.
Yeah, it's a lot of layers.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, Wonder Looper stuff will launch on Tate and Yoko next week, very soon. So the products have been received. The photos are done. So you're gonna be able to get that on Tate and Yoko. The t-shirts are going to be first. Then it'll follow up with the crew necks and the hoodies. In fact, during this stream, we might get a delivery of some.
I hope not, because I don't know if I can handle that.
There's a bunch of boxes on our way, so it might happen live. Cat's X Pizza, not to pile on here, but any update on the Cotton Melton work shirt? It's the same thing. We're waiting on all kinds of production still. Yeah, it's been a heck of a season. Just so much slowdowns with production this season, and not everything got made, when I wanted them to get made. Those are hopefully going to be here soon. That's all I can say on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Mac, hey Bahzad and Risa, finally back watching live after 3 weeks. Just brought that final pair of size 5 denim sneakers to go with my thermo stretch denim. Thanks for the code. Mac, you are very welcome. In a previous stream, I mentioned that if you're a size 5 in those sneakers, I'll give you an extra deal. If you take those off our hands. So that was the last pair. Enjoy them.
Thank God.
Them. That was the last one.
You.
The Platinum King. Have you ever seen anyone fade a King of Lords? I would say, I'm gonna say yes. I couldn't say specifically who. On our IG every now and then they pop up. Now I'm gonna say something and it may not happen, but what I should definitely do, I don't know if I'm able to do that. If I share someone's stories, can I save them as
in like highlights?
Yeah.
If you share them as stories, you can always compile them into a model.
What could be neat is if I do that and I see a King of Lords and then I make a highlight, so here are all the King of Lords fades of different people.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to find it.
Yeah. That could be tough. Yeah.
That will be. Yeah, and then because you can't pile them all into one because you don't necessarily see what it is.
Yeah.
And it's kind of annoying to have to go through everything.
The real answer is that we need to have some kind of fade area on the website. So that's got to come. It's,
and or Instagram.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. There's a lot of things that need to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Few people, a lot of things that need to be done. Douglas Lebowitz. Hi guys, I'll be in New York City after the weekend. Any chance of a restock of the Empire State Selvage? That's another one. I know you guys, look, this season, there was a lot of sellouts. There was a lot of things. Empire State Salvage, that was another thing. It was supposed to be restocked back in October. It's not on my production schedule. It's, yeah. You guys are beating me. But it's well deserved. I'm going to show Brandon a clip of this live stream. And I'm going to say, look, man, they want it. They want the stuff. And believe me, I'm on the horn all the time with our production, trying to get them to, move stuff and get stuff done. But that's
especially
just,
Empire State Salvage. We always have to have them in stock because that's the whole reason we have them.
Yeah,
exclusive.
It's tough being in production, doing stuff yourself, doing it in Canada. We're the last jeans makers. We are the last jeans makers. We don't have the benefit of having a 3,000 person production line moving 10,000 pairs of jeans every week. It's just I hate to say it, but there's a reason why these companies move things offshore, because those places have the capacity to do things big, right? You can't.
Well, yeah. Also, it's like if they want to expand, they can easily expand because they have all these resources to train people, and people are willing to do that job. I think in Canada, it's if one person goes off the the line, like it's very hard to replace them.
Yeah.
So it's not like we can just we need more space. We're gonna add another people.
Yeah, if I could hire 30 sewers tomorrow, I would hire 30 sewers tomorrow. It would be no problem.
That can make jeans, yes.
But yeah, it's anyhow. I can go on about all these delays, but we're working on it, trying to get them out, and sorry to disappoint. Okay. Nicholas Viplu, another apology coming, just an advance apology. Any news on the mugs?
Yes, they are done, but we weren't able to make it for. I think it was. We weren't able to make it to Christmas. Mm-hmm. It looked like, so we ended up shipping over the sea.
Right.
So it's going to be now. I guess delayed till January, February.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Right. If we couldn't get them over before Christmas, there was no point of spending like the crazy amount of money to ship them. Mm-hmm. So you might as well ship them by sea, keep the prices low. They're already going to be expensive mugs.
Yeah.
So we might as well not add to the cost by shipping them expensively. So we'll have them in the new year. Earlier, Q1 2023.
Yes.
Q1.
Yes, we can promise you that.
Okay, so there it is. That's a guarantee, and there should be a stamp. Hits the screen. Guaranteed. Q1.
What if something happens?
Yeah. Nothing's gonna happen unless that ship sinks.
Right.
Guys, if the ship sinks, if the ship sinks or the train derails, it's not my fault. Okay.
So this is the fine print of
this is the fine print. Yeah, the seal of approval is contingent on the world working and no tragedies happening. Okay. So, in fact, all of my guarantees are based on those two things.
That's true. Yeah. If apocalypse happens.
If the apocalypse happens,
everything is up in the air.
I'll do my best to try and prevent the apocalypse. However way I do that, but. I apologize.
Happens, we can't promise you any jeans.
I will still apologize because I did say, but it was a little out of my control. There you go. Main outfit one writes, when do you decide to retire a pair of jeans? My retirement process on a pair of jeans is mostly contingent on whether or not they fit me anymore. Mm-hmm. Like an actual full-on retirement is, I can't fit these. I've grown too much, which is usually the case. I haven't shrunk too much for any of my clothing yet. But I've grown too much. I can't fit them. So long as my jeans are physically, you know, able to handle being worn, I will still wear them. I have some vintage jeans that are like hanging on a thread, and like I'm probably not supposed to wear them, but every now and then I'll like put them on. I'm like, oh, these are great, and I'm like, they're great because they're so the fragility of the fabric is so light. I'm like, I'm gonna regret wearing these.
You're gambling
Yeah.
and going into
Yeah.
public with
Yeah.
those. Yeah, I mean it's hard. I don't think other than not fitting it, it's difficult to part ways with your jeans. I mean, there are jeans that I don't wear anymore because I don't wear them, but I mean, as long as they fit, I think I'm gonna hold on to it. There's just a pile of them.
Yeah.
But
The other thing is I will, like your main outfit one, my main pair will usually depend on, well, the last 2 years it's basically been Indigo Invitational. But my main pair, if I decide on a different jean I'm fading, then that becomes my main pair, and then every now and then I will, depending on my outfit, sometimes your outfit, whatever it is that you're wearing, might call for a different style of jeans, so I can go back, pull out something that I already own. But I know that some people are like, okay, I'm done with these jeans, like I'm done. So like some people are more sentimental with their raw jeans. They faded them out, they keep them, right? Even though they're maybe too beat up to wear anymore, day to day, they keep them. Other people, okay, I faded them out, they look great, I need a new pair, okay, I'm done with these. And
when you're at that point, and your pair of jeans are very well faded, and it is Naked Famous Denim jeans, then contact us.
Yeah, right. If you're the kind that is okay parting with their jeans, then yeah, contact us. We do have a trade-in program. We'll give you 20% off a brand new pair. We'll pay for the shipping label for you don't have to spend money to ship your old jeans to us. We'll actually send you a label for that. So and then we'll keep them, and we will.
We'll put it on the fade wall or something.
Yeah, and eventually they will be archived and photographed and put up on the website.
But it can't just be like worn a few times. It has to be faded.
Faded. Yeah. But yeah. The retirement process for a pair of jeans. It's I guess it's very different for different people. But yeah, for me, it's they're never really retired. They're just they're on the bench. They're on the bench.
But it's also just a little small. You have like this hope where they're like, oh, maybe I can wear this someday again.
Yeah. If I can't wear them, sometimes I have some jeans where I'm just like, how on earth did I fit that? How on earth did I fit that? I mean, at one point I was buying, like, when I was like 130, 135 pounds for like a long time. Like most of my 20s was that. So like a lot of my jean discovery and exploring was during that time, and so I amassed just so many jeans. I also worked in a jean shop, and so I have a lot of jeans in that size, and I'm just like, how did I fit these? And some jeans I have like size 27. Incredible. But yeah, I still own all of them. They're just all piled up.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Francisco Michael, I'll promise you anything unless the sun falls out of the sky, then there's no guarantee. True. True. That's it.
I love this.
Which one?
Taji H. Hello from ATL. Just flew into Tokyo yesterday. Enjoying my morning strong zero and onigiri while watching the live stream.
That's how to do it. Strong zeros and onigiri. Which convenience store did you grab yours from?
Morning strong zero is a very bad idea.
The Catman. I love how B tries not to curse here. Then last week Brandon showed up like a wrecking ball, immediately dropping F-bombs and loudly yelling stories your neighbors could hear. It's true. I do try not to swear on the stream.
Yes.
Yeah.
When it's not necessary.
When it's not necessary.
Yeah. Sometimes it slips up, but
yeah. I do let the expletives fly in reality though. I don't know if I let them fly, but I'm
Yes, I mean you kind of like you use it to exaggerate things, not to like offend anybody.
That's true. Yeah, but on the internet, you got to be a little more careful because
it's just
reasons.
Yeah, I mean it's also not like it's this is Naked and Famous.
Yeah.
It's a job.
Yeah.
Although I mean it is Brandon's job too. But...
Yeah. Brandon's not on the internet so much,
no,
so he doesn't know. we can get yeah, I don't want anything that I say to affect the spreadability of our videos. I know that they've got the robots listening. Oh. They'll pick it up.
All right.
Yeah. Tate H. Lawson.
Nice.
That's how to do it. Okay. Right 75. What is your opinion for putting on patches with fabric glue or sewing? Like patches for fixing your jeans. I have. You can go either way. I have no opinion one way or the other. If you can't sew or choose not to sew or want a very simple solution, iron-on patches are an absolute godsend. You put them on the jean, you iron them on, your jeans are mended. You're good.
Personally have too much experience with that, but if you're gonna wash your jeans like very, very often, you might want to sew it.
Yes, sewing is definitely gonna be a better option as far as like how long it's gonna last. But
yeah, if you don't have
the skills to do it well, then it may not be that done well anyway. So I think the iron-on will look cleaner and neater in that respect.
And if it falls off, you just
put another one on. So go. It's nice to learn that skill, how to sew, how to mend. But if you're not sewing and mending very often, then a simple solution might work just as well for you. Yeah. Alien Wayfarer. When's that floral jacket Michael Iron Snail was wearing during the live stream coming out? Spring. So Q1, Q2. Q2. Probably
possibly
early Q2, not late Q2. Yeah.
Let's hope. But they will come out.
They are coming out. The Platinum King. How is meeting Michael from the Iron Snail? He did a vlog series on that, and it was exactly as portrayed in that video. I have to say he did a very good job of capturing, the moments. And he recorded us literally meeting, I come in, hey, how's it going? I think I said bonjour. And that's how we were buddies like that.
He is like, I noticed that he was so good at like, having the camera on, but not so much in your face that like you
noticed it.
Yeah, like you're like, oh, there's a camera on me. Yeah. Like he's very good at like cutting the piece of that like real life.
Yeah, he probably has many hours of footage from just us hanging out, and I mean he trimmed it down really good. But yeah, Michael's awesome. I mean I talk to him a couple times a week usually. But yeah, really we only met that one time. Over a couple days in Montreal. We were supposed to meet up again in New York, but then I got sick. But yeah, Mike's a great guy. I really like Michael.
It's very nice. Like as you see on the video, it's very nice.
Everybody that I've met through YouTube. Carl, he's fantastic. CRD, Matt, he's great. Stridewise, Nick, like. There are so many people that Nick's great. Actually, we met Nick Montreal. I'm just saying, have we met him? Did we meet him more than once? It was just the one time. I don't remember. I guess did we? Trying to remember.
I think I only met him that.
Right. Did I hang out with him anywhere else? I don't remember. Anyways, it's these weird things because like you watch people on YouTube and you feel like
you know them,
but when you do know them, it's kind of like wait a minute. So everyone's just really really nice. They are as they are online. Like Cameron O, I've been chatting with recently. super nice. Like everyone's nice. I can't. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why they have such great followings.
Yeah,
And
I think that's a thing. Like who like successful YouTube people, they're like their personality is attractive, and that's why people watch it. And it's not like if it's all scripted, then it's hard to like get to know that person.
Yeah.
But if it's more like flowing the conversation type of channel, then you definitely do like pick up on on their actual personalities.
Yeah.
And those channels are great because they're just nice people, and people want to
people want to be around nice people, I guess. So yeah, I'm yeah. Anyways, I'll probably hang out with Michael again in January. We'll be in New York. We're gonna be there for a fashion trade show. During that time, I'd like to do the meet up event at the Naked and Famous Denim NYC store. Hopefully we can get Michael to join us there, and then that'd be kind of fun. Maybe Nick from Stradwise might be around in town too. Get him in. Have a whole big hangout with everybody. A little YouTube meet and greet. But yeah. Anyways, don't quote me on that one. I got things to arrange there. But yeah, it's they're good people. I guess that's all I can say. Okay. Joshua Vasquez writes, Wonder Looper question, no problem. If I was to buy one item but two of the embroidery if I was to buy one item but two of the embroidery options, could I get the item embroidered twice in different places, like the chest and the hood itself? The hood part of the hoodies will not be, you can't stitch on it because the fabric is too thick. But if you wanted like, something stitched here and like maybe I don't know somewhere like, the side or the back, I guess it's possible. Anyway, send us a message and we can sort that out for you. That's no problem. Send us a DM on the Wonder Looper. BD writes, Brandon was great to me, same in real life as he was on video. You're both the same. I would say yes. Brandon is definitely a character. And it's not, you can't miss it. Yeah, you can't miss it.
Yeah, you can't fake it either.
Yeah, you can't fake it. I can't fake it either. I'm just.
I mean, it's like you have to be a little bit of a,
Yeah, you be very personable, and I'm pretty I'm pretty open and friendly, like right away with most people. The only people I've ever been rude. I've ever been rude to one guy. Once being rude, like being kind of openly rude to them, and it was just, it was at a trade show, and I generally have no problem with like people taking pictures and things like that, but like it was just the way that this happens at trade shows a lot. Like there's a lot of people with nice outfits, interesting outfits, and people take their picture, and usually it's a like, they'll gesture with their camera, and they'll just be like, and then okay. And you'll take a picture. Like even if there's no verbal, there's like a thing, or I'll say, hey, can I take your picture? Yeah, cool, no problem, right? This guy did one of these, and he was just like, it was such a creeper move. It was like he was right, and he's just, and I'm like, and he walks by without like acknowledging nothing, just like, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh. I'm like, oh, he's like, oh, I just took your picture. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, okay, like you could have asked, like, and I was just kind of a little bit cross with him,
right? Like it's not like you were so busy that like he didn't want to bother you to take a picture, or
right?
Anything.
It was a weird thing, and I think that's the only time I've been openly rude with somebody.
I don't know about that, but yeah, so you don't come at people just for no reason.
Right.
Like you try to, even if it's not a good situation, you try to
I try to solve it. Yeah. I try to come around. I'm not gonna get into like there's even if you get like a bad email right? Like generally speaking, I try to turn it around. Like I don't want people to leave with bad encounters, but sometimes it happens, right? Sometimes it happens. Sometimes people you can't please everybody, but I do try my best. I don't think I'm openly rude to people on purpose, but yeah, you know, if I see people in the store or whatever, like I'm always pretty friendly. Yeah, that's a Canadian. Yeah, Vitaly, that's a Canadian rude. Did not sound rude at all. Yeah, it's not. Sorry, French people from France. You're mostly very nice, but your brand of rude is amazing. I've seen French rude in person, and it's just like, wow. It's like you're watching a show. Like this is real. You know, you know, like you're like, I thought this was like, you know, I thought this was just scripted. You know, like I saw it on TV, but like you see it in real life, and you're like, wow, you guys are not nice to each other.
Or you don't hide it. Like
Yeah.
I come from this culture of like you are never ever rude to anybody in person. Like behind their back, sure, but like you know that is like where I come from. So like it's so far away from me that like it's just insane.
Japanese rude is also funny because like sometimes you go to a store and like it's not that it's rude, but like it wasn't overly polite sometimes, and you're like,
yeah, that was rude.
That was rude. You know, it's like, and I feel bad. You know, you might go to a convenience store and like the guy is just like not emotionally saying thank you. He's just like, you know, there's certain like, unfortunately, a lot of the service jobs, like people that are essentially robots, like there's just these phrases that they must always say, always, and like that's your entire interaction with them. It's not like North America where you'd be like, hey, how's it going? Like, I think they would probably even find that to be weird. Like you just don't have these like small chats with certain people. Mind you, I don't speak the language. Maybe I would if I could. Hey, how's it going? But I think maybe they'd be like, why are you asking me?
It's not like it's not even like you don't know how to like that was actually like one of my first struggles like living in the States. Like I did not know how to respond to random people asking me how it's going. It's like I don't know how to start. Like like you want to be my friend, or is it like just like you are expecting me to say just it's good.
Yeah, how's it going? What do you want, a deep dive here? I mean,
it's just not something that happens here. So
yeah, it's a little different. Yeah, Japanese rude is there's a lot of apologies when you know something doesn't go your there's a lot of apology. I'm just trying to remember, like I remember we were buying a refrigerator for your mom. And then, like, they were having her, like, sign up for some card and, like, just going through all this rigmarole stuff. And, like, eventually it didn't all work out. And it was just like, okay, well, we just wasted 2 hours of, like, paperwork for nothing.
Yeah,
it's just like a lot of apologies and, like, well, but you still can't give me the thing. I did all the stuff. And anyways, very weird. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Carl is in the house. Carl Morawski. Her shirt is amazing. Risa shirt. Is that an option? Is that an option ombre check? Option ombre check?
I don't know what option ombre check is, but it is definitely ombre buffalo check. This is from I don't know.
Yeah, from a couple of seasons ago. Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago.
But it is our men's work shirt. Obviously, it fits Risa just fine.
I'm wearing like I think
extra small.
Yeah, extra small here.
So
it fits me really nice actually.
Yeah,
I do actually wear a lot of my green army shirt is also from men's Naked and Famous.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff works, backwards and forwards. So however way you can enjoy it. I said good day in Japanese. I said good day, Francisco Michael. Good one. I saw. Oh my God, that just reminded me. I saw a trailer for that 90s show on Netflix, and I was like, oh, do we need to do this? Is this necessary? Can we just cancel it now and just save everyone a lot of time and wasted effort? Let me
Yeah.
know.
So it was for those of you who haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
yeah.
It's a that 70s shows like
Parents.
next yeah, the parents from that 70s
Yeah,
shows like dealing with their grandkids generation. So that's
yeah.
like the 90s
But I
in
guess I'm
their
like, why
thing.
are they still hanging at your house? It was also fun.
Because
Just the,
they're kids
yeah,
now,
yeah,
like because
yeah,
they're
yeah,
kids in the
yeah,
90s,
yeah.
which is like I guess
But it was also weird. Just we're going into TV talk for a second. But
yeah.
in that '70s show, there was a point where Eric left the show, and
Yeah.
everyone was still hanging out in his basement. I'm like, guys, can we? This is odd. Like, why? Why are
Yeah.
the community kids hanging out in these? Fine. Anyways, but technically there was that '80s show that they tried to launch shortly after that '70s show came out, and
I mean, yes, that was like their them being adults.
no, it was a
Or
separate show altogether. Different
okay.
characters, but they were, it was it came out during the '90s, and it was like, just '80s tropes. I'm like, but the '80s wasn't even that long ago, guys. Anyways, nevertheless, that show probably lasted 5 episodes, and yeah, the '90s revival that's going on now is a little annoying.
And it's very annoying.
Perhaps those people who are a little bit older might. I'm getting to the age where I hate everything. I'm definitely becoming an old man. But for those people older than me, who probably went through some similar, pop culture nostalgia moments where they were looking back at the '70s or the '60s, in a different era. But maybe how did they portray it? Did they get it on point, or did they just? Maybe I just feel like this era they're just milking nostalgia for the sake of it, and it's getting a little annoying.
Yeah. I cannot imagine like there was this version of like 60s. 70s maybe, because 70s is like very like there's a lot of things going on, but they're, like a lot of positivity, like like things that you can like look back nostalgically, like fondly, and maybe exaggerated version of that was in TV. But like 60s, like were there like revival of 60s that are just
Were there
in pop
'60s
culture?
revival shows? I'm just trying to think. Maybe there was, and I wasn't aware of it. That's a possibility. Um, but I remember at one point they tried to make a new Leave It to Beaver. I think they actually called it the new Leave It to Beaver. But when did Leave It to Beaver? When was that on? Like the '50s? Anyways,
I didn't know it was from that old.
Happy Days, was that the '50s or the '60s? Happy Days, I think, was the '60s, and that came out during the '70s. Or it might have been the '50s. I'm not sure. I remember watching Happy Days in reruns. Obviously, I wasn't alive when it was new.
I don't know anything about Happy Days. Aside from that, there's a character called Fonzie.
Yeah.
And I know that from Friends,
Yeah.
and that's the only thing I know.
Yeah. I watched it in reruns as a kid because it was just always on. So, but yeah. Francisco Michael, do you find it ironic that everyone wants to be a '90s kid, but no one wants to be a millennial? Everyone wants to be a '90s kid, and nobody wants to be a millennial. I think those are different things in two different ways. I think the millennial is just kind of it's a bit of a scapegoat trope.
Yeah.
For young people being dumb.
Yes. I think it became that. And I also think that it covers the age group like too broadly, and a lot of us who actually grew up in the 90s were not feeling like we're millennials, even though like category wise it might be like I'm certainly a millennial in terms of like definitions, but like I think there's a big disconnect between like people who like were born in the 90s and people who were like growing up in the 90s.
Yeah, it's very different. I like to categorize it with people who grew up using Google basically their entire life,
Mm-hmm.
and people who still had to go to the library to look up information.
Yeah.
You know, not that the internet didn't exist in my, school age time, but
But the school
I was still
wasn't
handing
designed
in essays written on paper by the end of high school. Like
100%.
that was still normal. And you know, I mean, Google was at its infancy by the time I was leaving high school.
We are geriatric millennials.
Yeah, we're the
Yes.
geriatric millennials. That's it. Versus somebody who might have been born in 1995, their entire school upbringing.
Yeah, by the time they went to school, it's in 2000s.
Yeah.
Where everything was on the internet.
Yeah.
Like,
to me, it's just weird that someone who's 22 now was born in the year 2000, and I'm like, the year 2000 doesn't seem that long ago.
for
Yeah.
for the entire human being
Yeah.
to be old enough to drink
Yeah.
and drive.
Yeah. You're an adult, like you're a full-formed adult now.
Yeah,
And
not
pop
drink and
culture is revolving around you, right? And I'm like, you're still a baby. You're like, how is?
That's true.
Yeah. So very, very different. But yeah, Nicholas Viplu, everyone wants to be a 90s kid until they realize the lack of tech and internet. Downloading MP3s on Napster over dial-up beepers and payphones. Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think that there's a turning that around. I think it's kind of fun to look. Ooh, I think we got a shipment. It's kind of fun to look back at those kinds of things. The same way that we might have been interested in, older toys or even, record players when we were kids. Like it was clearly there's a nostalgia for it now, but looking back at old technology or the way people used to live, it's always kind of fun to explore. I don't think kids are they might be fascinated by a cassette, a cassette Walkman, because it's a mechanical thing. Oh wow, here's this thing that plays music in such a different way. For them, the excitement of it is a different excitement than us being like, I can carry music portably, versus they're like, oh, look at this weird old way they used to play music. They're looking at it at different ways. So, yeah, it's I appreciate the appreciation, and of course it allows me to look back at this stuff. But sometimes I cringe when. I just cringe at some of the stuff they put out.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
imagine how much
Yeah.
things that our parents or grandparents cringed
Yeah,
over.
right. They did.
That's-
Not it's my turn to cringe
Yeah.
at things. Shane Delahanty, the 90s had the best shows like Goosebumps, The X-Files. So I'm glad I was a kid when those shows were on. I agree, and I think the other reason why this is turning into a nostalgia channel, the 90s were some of the best times for television, is because we all watched television. We all watched it at the same time. So the next episode of Seinfeld or the next episode, that was the thing to talk about the next day. You had to be there. So, and there was, I mean, in my house, I don't know, we had like 30 channels. We didn't have like a lot of
30 channels,
Wait.
that's a lot. Like, we had
Right.
probably like 8 channels.
Right. So we didn't have a lot of, compared to now, there's a gajillion channels, but
But it was like one of those like experience where like you watch when everybody else is watching.
Yeah.
So next day at school you can talk about it.
yeah.
Whereas like right now, like with Netflix shows, and it's like, have you seen it? It's like, no, I haven't. I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch it tonight, or
Yeah.
whatever. So it's
Oh, I watched the entire season this weekend. Oh, have you watched it at all yet? I didn't even know it was out. Like there's so much, so it's kind of hard for like the culture in general to be around the same things.
Mhm.
So I think some of those things last through the culture because more of us experienced those things.
Yeah, and-
Every now and then Netflix has like a earth-shattering, like, oh wow, everybody needs to watch this
Mhm.
show,
yeah.
and we all do.
Yeah, and then they have this like watch together, watch
Yeah,
party,
yeah.
whatever thing, and try to recreate
Yeah.
that. But there's just not to the same level at all. like when you have options, then
Yeah.
the experience is different.
Yeah. So, that's that. Cameron Smith writes, Iron Snail jacket delays are so sad, but I'm excited to get my double heavyweight Wonder Looper sweatshirt. Yeah, I mean, look, this is
the theme of this.
This is the theme of this live stream. There are some delays happening on our end with the factory and stuff. We're certainly trying to do the best that we can to get everything out in time. We don't like delays. We like them, so we hate them more than you hate them. Believe me. We'll do our best to be our best and get you the goods when you want them. But yeah, we'll keep working at that. Definitely remember copying my dad's yellow Sony Sport Walkman. LOL. That Sony Sport line was amazing. Of like that yellow, very iconic. They had during the mini disc era, there was a Sony Sports mini disc Walkman that was like, it was all metal. It was like thick. It was a tank. It was unbelievable. Yeah, they had that era too. For those of you who remember the Panasonic Shockwave series of portable cassette players and CD players. Those things were so thick you could run them over with a car and they would still work. Like, they were designed to be beat up to hell. I thought that was a really cool.
I really liked that kind of like gadget, like where it's like so overly like tough. Like I still like it. Like you know when sometimes like I see that like smartphone from
like some construction company Tate I think makes one. And it's like
I
a rugged
them.
phone.
Yeah, I really want them.
That would be a really cool product line if they should do that. They should just make some of those things a little bit more. They should make more of those. I would buy.
I like the designs too. It's just like so like I don't know.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Yeah, and then you don't have to worry about small things like dropping them.
Yeah, or dropping them from an airplane because they'll be fine. Smoke writes, how's your sizing with your hoodies? I have really long arms and don't want to order something that doesn't fit.
This guy has really
I have really long arms too. We'll have the measurement guides up and show you exactly how to measure. For the Wonder Looper hoodies, our sleeves don't run super long. They're okay on me. I think they, depending on who you are, depending how long your arms are, they're either going to hit you like right around here or they'll hit you around here. Because of the weight of the hoodie, I didn't want to make it super, super long because it's just, it'll bulk up way too much.
Yeah.
But anyways, we'll have the measurement guide on the website. We'll show you how to measure compared to some hoodies that you might already own. I also tested to hell a sweatshirt to shrink it like as much as humanly possible. And we'll show you how those compare as well. But if you have like long arms like I do, I think you're still going to be fine. If you have freakishly long arms, then you might run into the ssame problems that you might run into with other products in the world.
Right.
So,
it's
always difficult. Like I remember a couple weeks ago, we had a couple people on the stream who were like, I'm 6'7".
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. You might be very tall too, but like at some point, like if you have general problems with everything, you're gonna have general problems with everything.
Right. Exactly. But I mean, I think this is not just for Wonder Looper, but like any kind of net product. That's like in general, like when things shrink, like you can easily stretch it out. It's a little different from woven fabrics because a lot of the shrinkage comes from like the construction being like kind of like the net like loops got kind of like crunched up. So like all you have to do is like tug them and then it will stretch out. So with your t-shirts or with your sweatshirts, anything that gets too short, like just tug them and see how much stretch you can get.
Like even with like the circular Naked Famous tees, like I always wear medium when they come out of the wash, and they
always shrink.
They always shrink a little bit, and we dry. I dry. Like my stuff goes in the dryer It's not recommended, but it goes in the dryer, and then all I do is just pull the fabric out. Comes out like normal. So, smoke rights. I'm 6'4", right? Tall man. I tend not to buy long sleeve shirts. Wakarimashita.
That must be difficult.
It must be. I mean, even like with the Naked and Famous shirts, like they tend to fit me fine. Like, and actually from my suiting experience, you always kind of want to have your shirt cuff like around here. And then one thing a lot of people would do when I would sell suits, because like you want the cuff to be around here, you want the jacket to be around here, just so a little bit of the cuff shows out. And then a lot of people would just do this, and like they're like, all right, and they're like, see, it's too short. I'm like, do you walk around like this? I'm like, you live like this. That's where you want it. And like they'll like raise their arms, and they're like, see, look how short it is. I'm like, no.
Yes, but if you put it like this to here, then when you put it down, you got a bunch here that looks awful.
It's just, but the amount of times that you had to just explain that away to a customer, they'll be like, they're like holding their arms out, and they're like, this is so short. And I'm like, don't walk around like that. Just
yes, it's not gonna extend with your movements, unfortunately.
It's kind of funny, but like for me, sometimes because short shirts might sometimes be a little short on me, I pretty much roll all my sleeves. I live the arm rolled life. But
me too. My arms are regular, but
okay. I'm going to turn Bahzad saying my name into a ringtone. Cameron Smith.
All right.
Cameron Smith, your phone is ringing. Cameron Smith, your phone is ringing now. Pick it up. Pick up your phone, Cameron Smith. All right, there you go.
All right.
Okay. Oak Odell, it's the watch factor. So when you have your cuff rolled and bring it up, bam, check out my watch. Also true.
That's very smart. Yeah.
It's a good way to show your watch off. Having your sleeve just a little short, your watch peek right out. As a new watch guy, I appreciate it. Okay. Orlog writes, is there such a thing as herringbone patterned denim? Yes.
It's a very timely question.
Yep.
Because we are working on something that's herringbone.
Yes. Yeah, we will have, it is currently in the works. Yeah. So coming soon. Okay. James Cardenas, any hints you can give us on the next horror themed jean?
Oh, so it hasn't been.
No.
All right.
No. That's it. I'm gonna leave this one for a little while.
That's I mean, you wanna enjoy the.
Yeah, enjoy
the mystery.
Enjoy the mystery.
It's mystery.
But that's it. I have to work on the next one. I gotta line that up. I wanna line up Alien. That's the one.
Is that a horror?
Yeah,
Alien?
Sci-fi horror. Yeah, I wanna line up Alien. I think that's the one. I would like Michael Myers. So those are my big ones. Those are my big gets.
Yeah, although watching the last one, I just
ignore the last one.
I can't respect.
It's when it comes to horror movies, as soon as you move past like, depending on the series, once they've got like 8 movies deep, 10 movies, they're all just not great anymore. You watch it. Sometimes I'm watching a horror movie. It's kind of like, when you're into like, part 9, part 8, part 10, you're like, I want to see him in this, but I hope it's good. Like you go into it being like, I hope it's good. It's not going to be good. You watch it anyways. Maybe you get some entertainment out of it, but
yeah, but it's like, I mean, there's degree to that, like acceptable amount of like, okay, well, it's the 9th one, they run out of some ideas.
Yeah.
Versus like, why did you even bother?
Why did they even bother? They were contractually obligated. You signed up for a 3-movie deal. We're doing a 3-movie deal. But yeah, if you haven't watched the newest Halloween Ends, right? It was Halloween, Halloween kills, and Halloween ends.
Okay.
I think that's how it went.
Okay. Sounds about right. But
Yeah.
that was not. That is not gonna be in that movie recommendations.
You know, yeah, I mean, I could go on. I could probably do a YouTube review on it. I'll just say that if you've watched the Halloween series, you kind of the fun thing about the latest Halloween trilogy is that it does. There's a lot of Easter eggs in the movie, and then you can see how and why like they're picking up certain themes and ideas. You get it. You can. So it's kind of like here's a Halloween movie for Halloween fans, but it also defies all logic in certain ways, and you're like, why are they doing you're spending half the movie like, why are they doing that? And I'm generally not a pause the movie and yell at the screen kind of guy, but for movies, for TV and all this other stuff, sure. But for this movie, it was like every few minutes I was just slamming that pause button and we were just yelling at each other with like, why are they doing this?
It's just I mean, there was a lot of things to be said about that movie that was not positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Salsa writes, Linus Tech Tips gave timestamp comment guy a gift card for Black Friday. Really? I think it would be cool if you got something for your timestamp guy. I already did. So don't you worry. Our community is well taken care of. So yeah. Smoke. The Rob Zombie Halloween movies are fire. I didn't dislike them. I'll have to say that I like them for what they are. They're a little different than the look. For me, 1 and 2, I love them. Everything else, yeah.
I watched any of those Rob Zombie.
I'm sure you have. Maybe. Anyway, maybe I'm not so sure. But yeah. The first one is a masterpiece. It is even if you're not a horror movie person or anything like that, it is a brilliant piece of cinema. I think it is a fantastic movie. The second one is I mean, if you were to just watch 1 and 2 and that's it, I think it would be that's a fine story. Mm-hmm. We could leave it there. Mm-hmm. And that's certainly what they tried to do with the Halloween series, and then it makes a lot of money, so you got to bring it back. Right. But yeah, Halloween. I would love to do Halloween. I think it would be a great get for our horror themed lineup. Alien would be another one.
I can be behind that.
Yeah. So
Alien is a great movie. I just didn't really consider that to be a horror, but I guess it is a horror.
Yeah. Sci-fi horror. Different.
It's more sci-fi than horror. I don't know. I don't know the definition of horror, to be honest. Unless it's obviously,
Yeah. I mean, there are other ones that I think could be cool. But I think, we have Freddy, we have Jason. Once you do Michael Myers, that kind of rounds out the icons, the real the big guys. Yeah. Chucky would be okay.
No. I vote.
Risa hates Chucky. But then there's a lot of horror movies that are iconic, but what would you do? A Dawn of the Dead series. As I love Dawn of the Dead. I don't know what I would do there, right? And then Evil Dead, Ash, I don't know what I would do. I'm sure I could figure that one out. But it's or Killer Clowns from Outer Space. There's a lot of Mars Attacks. Sure, I just don't think that they're iconic enough. They're big in their own way, but they're just it's you're not the juggernaut that is Michael Myers, right? Spawn would be fun. I would do a Spawn collab.
Spawn is the
yeah, it's Image Comics. Yeah. Todd McFarlane. Yeah, comic books might be another. That would be another direction I wouldn't mind going back into. I mean, we did the Batman stuff, but LOL, Juggernaut. Yeah, Juggernaut. I would love to do X-Men. X-Men would be
that sounds
really
like
high
something
on my
rough.
list.
Yeah.
I once sent an email to Marvel, and they politely declined.
I mean, like
But that's never the end of it. It's never the end of it.
Yeah. But like, also there's certain things like X-Men would be perfect because there are just so many like good characters that we can make into denim. Like one character, like things are like a little harder because you have to still create all the contents around it, all jump through all the same hoops, but you only get to make one basically, one fabric. That's what we did with Friday the 13th. That's what we did with the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah,
that just seems like it's kind of like a lot of resources for one release.
Yeah,
for one
right. Yeah, they working with something like that, it certainly gives you more options. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of people are saying some good ones like Shaun of the Dead, Shining, Hellraiser. Yes, I agree, but I think it just has to be. It has to be like those are big. Like I said, in their own way, it just has to be mega big. It has to be massive. X-Men is massive. Everyone knows what the X-Men are, right? I think they do. But
there's nobody who's never heard of X-Men.
But I would imagine there are people who haven't heard of like Mars Attacks or the Hellraiser, like Shaun of the Dead, like Alien Wayfarer, Samurai Pizza Cat's Denim. Again, I actually really liked that show when it was out. But like nobody knows what that show is.
That's kind of like also like the beauty, like what we did with Toxic Avenger. Like there are like things where like you kind of
Toxic Avenger was a good example of how you could have a great gene, but the property perhaps wasn't big enough to entice a wider audience, or maybe what that gene should have been was a much smaller production run. Right, that was a very big production run that we did on that one, and and also the timing was a little difficult. Look, I'm a humongous Trauma fan, and to be fair, I would I ever do a Toxic Avenger re-release? I don't know. We'll see.
But it wasn't like it was a good like thing, like it doesn't necessarily have to be like a major thing. It's like as long as you have some kind of connection to it, like we can be behind that. Maybe we'll do it like differently when you work with like lesser known properties, but
or just making sure that the production run matches up with the size of the property, right? We could do a smaller property so long as we don't have to make 3,000 pairs of jeans, right? So I guess that's that. There's a lot of call outs here for like musical acts, like Metallica times Naked and Famous, or I saw Taylor Swift in there.
That's difficult.
I don't know if that does that cross over the celebrity thing too much.
Taylor Swift, like I kind of like
I don't know. That's just. I mean, that's not gonna happen. But
this is just like my personal opinions about like certain acts, I guess. But like Taylor Swift, like the only thing we can do that is like a collaboration is to have her name on our patch or whatever, and that just seems like a celebrity thing.
I don't think she wants to pose for our leather patch.
Yes.
I don't think so. Yeah. But like the only musical act I think we've ever seriously considered is with a group called The Naked and Famous, and we anyway. I think I talked about that story once. Their management team contacted us to see if we could do something, and literally right before like Brennan was going to LA anyway, so and they were the management people were there, so he was going to go and talk with them. We thought maybe we could do like some tour jackets or something like that, but then the Rona hit, and that was the end of that conversation. But yeah, I don't know. That might blur the lines too much. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think yeah. I'm not exactly sure how that
Yeah,
would
and
work.
also another thing is that, like, say if we like collaborate with a band or a singer or
Mhm.
whatever, then like we need to, like, I mean, as a part of it, we need to have that person wear our thing, and then that will be a part of it, and then that kind of
Yeah,
becomes that, like, oh, you're putting clothes
yeah.
on a
Celebrities,
celebrity.
yeah, it's kind of different. Like
Yeah,
when you do a collab with Freddy Krueger,
yeah. I
Freddie ain't wearing.
mean,
You know what I mean? What we're it's a little bit different, a different play, but yeah. How about collabs with cars or motorcycles? Harley Davidson, Naked and Famous. Um, yeah, I mean, I could see that. That's
yeah,
kind of that's a neat idea.
yeah.
I think based on Brandon's motorcycle love, he would want to do it with like a Japanese brand. Uh, he has
Perhaps.
what is Brand? I don't even know what he has. He has
He rides Ducati.
he has a Ducati. He has a Yamaha something.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He's
like
got some
yeah,
old
old
Yamaha. He
ones.
has a
Yeah.
Ducati. Anyways, yeah. I'm not sure, but Brennan does enjoy motorcycling. Motorcycling. Is that the right term? Brennan's a motorcycler. But yeah. Cannibal Corpse collab. Hammer smashed denim. Or Guar collab. No. You don't know Guar? Yeah, they're Google it. Guar. No. Here, I'll show you. GWAR. This is a band.
Oh.
Yeah, they're from the future or from another galaxy. I'm not exactly sure their backstory, but yeah. Or we'll do Juggalo denim in ICP. Woo woo. Guar would be dope as hell. Taji H. Uh, j- j- uh, uh, Ghoul collab next. Right. Beavis and Butthead would be fun. I think that
I
would be
can
a
see
lot of
that.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Beavis and Butthead. Speaking of collabs, looking forward to JoJo. Me too. Me too. 2023, everybody. 2023. Walmart collab next. Yeah, after the Costco one, we'll do it with Walmart. To be fair,
I think if you get Costco, you don't want to do Walmart. Costco is the pinnacle.
Costco is the pinnacle. But if, like, for example, like if Walmart were to approach us and say, we want to make a made in Canada line, I don't know if it would be under Naked and Famous Denim or anything like that, but like we want to make the problem, the real problem is that there's just no way we could make I don't know what the Walmart price point for jeans is. I don't know where they peak out.
I mean, you can imagine probably like $40.
Right.
Is the peak.
So
maybe.
could we make a $40 made in Canada jean with properly sourced denim? The answer is no. No, there's no way. And like the only way that could ever possibly happen is I can't think of it. It's just I can't think of it. So the answer is that. But like that's what it would take. It would take a Walmart, a Gap. It would take a big company to be like, look, we want to invest in local production to get the factories bigger, people opening factories again. But that's part of it, because the other part is the human part of it. Like you can have all the demand you want, but like if the people aren't there to work behind the machines, that's where the bottleneck will also happen.
But it's also like, nobody's gonna be like, I want to make a deal with Naked and Famous. But in order for us to work together, we're gonna have, like, Naked and Famous has to open up another factory or expand the current factory massively. But we're gonna fund you to do that. Like that's not gonna happen unless they buy us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
but it would take. Yeah, I mean, there needs to be as big as we are, and we're not big by any means. it has to come from another level of like being just generally interested in what the type of thing that we would do. And I would have no problem if somebody at Walmart were to say that that's a project that we want to look at, or Walmart, any big company like that. And we want to create a locally produced type of product, properly made, using the right materials, the right construction, everything. And we want to do it for a the best possible, absolute best possible price. And yeah, I would 100% be down to have that conversation. How what it would take to make that. Um,
Yeah.
and of
But
course, I
it's
want to
like,
see that. I want to see that. Proliferate. Is that the word? Uh,
don't ask me about
I
words.
want to see that grow. It's not just about, oh, we have to make a premium product. That would be a premium product for that price point. Like, not everything is about having to make the most expensive, the most exclusive, whatever. For me, I want to see everybody wearing jeans. I want to see everyone wearing proper jeans. And look, whether they're $40 or $400, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. But I want that low price. If it's possible to make a very affordable priced product as properly made as possible, yeah. I mean, that's what we're doing right now, and that's what our price point is. But in order to but we're using, we're not using the cheapest fabrics that the mills can make. Right. We're still using a very, very beautifully made fabric. Not that to say that the they have, for example, like they have fabrics that are like just mass produced, right? And this is the stuff that might go to like a mall store, right?
But at what point, like, do you like sacrifice? Like, I think it is one thing to challenge the price point. I think it's a very like interesting challenge, but at some point, like, like that would, like, we can challenge a price point, and I think the unbranded brand was
yeah, unbranded is a big challenge, but like for a challenge price point for North American made,
right,
is,
but at some point you have to, like, okay, then if we're gonna stick to North American made, then we have to challenge the price point by, like, using something like
it would be
lower
a
the
wide,
cost of the material,
yeah.
lower the cost of certain things. So it's like at some point you're sacrificing.
There's a little sacrifice. I mean, you wouldn't be using a selvage denim. It would be a wider width denim for sure. I don't think we could do anything particularly slubby or heavy or like artisanal in that respect. A very plain, classic looking fabric. Hardware wise, I wouldn't use any rivets at all. Everything would be bar tacked. Leather patch would probably be paper. Certain bells and whistles would go, right? Just, you could save a little bit of time, a little bit of, and money here and there. But even if I were to do that today, you're still probably looking at, $100 USA, 100 USD probably for a product retail. Maybe more, 110, 120, depends where you get. But even Japanese fabric. If I'm using Japanese fabric, yeah, I think we could probably hit 100 and, the lower end of the $100 scale by doing certain scale backs. In order to get it down under $100, it would require just a massive influx of efficiency in production, which would mean like a way bigger factories and more scale.
Yeah, but I mean, there's only so much you can scale, especially in North America. Like,
right. That's the thing. Like, the problem is that thing that I need doesn't exist. Yeah. The thing, in order to do it, I need to have a magic wand. It's not really a magic wand. It's just the whole world needs to change, which is, as you said, unrealistic.
Yeah, but also like like the whole point of making jeans is that like a lot of it is still operated by people, and there's definitely a certain standard of pay for people here and or in North America, and that's just something that you can't
Yeah, I mean,
change.
the efficiency needs to go up. You need to, even if you have to pay higher hourly wages, if you can get a better efficiency out of that, then you could drop the price of your product. Might involve huge investments in certain types of machinery, but there are parts that you can automate. Not well, yeah, there are certain construction parts of the jeans construction that could be a little bit more automated. Um,
Yeah, very small part
yeah,
though.
but yeah, it would be a huge undertaking to make a North American made jean at that price at the Walmart price point. But it
It's
would be
impossible. It's impossible. At current Walmart pricing, it's impossible.
impossible, improbable, impossible. I don't like impossible. I think it's
I think it is impossible. Think about it. If you wanted to get jeans out at $40, it is impossible unless you use slave labor or something. Like it is just not possible in North America. In other countries,
currently I'm
nothing.
saying that, like, if this magic shift happens, we're talking about magic shift, right?
Okay, if we're not talking about magic, then we might as well not talk because then
Okay, fine.
magic
Let's go
magic.
back to the 70s and 80s, where there was sewing in North America, and they were using American made denim, and they were selling these American made jeans at big box stores for very, very, very low prices. At one point, it was possible to have an American made jean made in America with American made fabric for a very low price point. So I don't think that I think that the fact that the scale for that existed meant that we could do it. I'm saying that we would have to have some giant shift in the culture where these types of jobs are not, you know where these types of jobs are still seen as like, hey, I want to do this, right? Where people are interested in making things, where we're interested in manufacturing again. Reining those things in, where we don't want to rely so much on imports. If that occurred, factories got bigger, people started building these factories out again, then you could probably see that happening. Whether or not, as much as we talk about buy local is great. you know, there's a part where it ends, where it's like there are certain parts that you can't do locally, and it's nice to want these local things, but it's also hard to manufacture these things locally. Not because It's not because people don't want it, it's because we can't do it because the manpower part of it. But yeah, at one point it existed. So
Yes, but that was a different time.
that was a different time.
People's lives were different, and I think unless you advocate that we all go back to that place that we were back then, I don't
Yeah.
think that's possible.
Yeah, Vance says that there is a competitor that makes a jean at around $100 price point. True, but that's a direct to consumer price point. If you want to sell to a retailer, you need to make a margin. They need to make a margin. So they're basically selling product at a wholesale cost, for example, right? Instead of selling it to the retailer, they're selling it to you for that price point. So that's why that price point's there. So that's not really in terms of the business, that's not really there. So yeah. Anyways, cataclysmic shifts in society. I would like to see it. I don't know how realistic it is, but yeah. Yeah. Shane Delhunty. There was an old commercial before my time featuring the Garment Workers Union singing a song with the message of to always look for the union label. Right. It's it's just a different time. I remember I have these old ads from there was a Canadian denim manufacturer, a very large one for a long time, called GWG. the Great Western Garment Company, and they had these ads, and it was like they were all targeted for women. It was like, oh, this is the most sanitary place for women to work, and I'm like, I think the words were literally like sanitary, and obviously, when you read that, it sounds like, wow, what were women? I think they were, the use of that word is like, the most, nice place for the nicest factory.
It wasn't the grungiest
it was the
of
grungiest of
the
factories.
factories.
And I've seen interviews. I knew when I was a kid, I had some I lived amongst I was an immigrant family, and I lived amongst immigrants, and other kids' parents worked in factories and stuff like that, and they would tell us stories how, and one of my friend's moms still works at a factory, and they so there's different ways that factories work. Sometimes it's by hour, sometimes it's piecework, and depending on the sewer, it depends on how they prefer to be paid. Like if you're a really good sewer, the piecework is what you want, because you could really basically they pay you by the piece. So they a single operation might cost 10 cents a quarter, 50 cents, whatever it is. So the faster you do it, the more money you make per hour. But then I was watching these clips from these old clips from the GWG factories, and they would have the sewers who were like, yeah, we were pieceworking, we were working so fast, it was great those times, we were so busy. And then you had the QC inspectors, and then you had the problem was, I guess, there were good sewers, and then there was bad sewers who were fast. And then the QC people would be like, no, these didn't pass, and you send it back, and then they would get all upset, and then because some people try to work too fast, they injure themselves. And so anyways, there's pros and cons with so many aspects of that. But yeah, the production side of thing is always very interesting. But yeah, sewing and making stuff. It's yeah, I don't like, I guess because we're around so many people who are very passionate about this, and like I'm personally very interested in all this stuff. For me, it's like a little bizarre that I mean, I guess I understand, but when you realize that people aren't as interested in it as you are, and you're like, oh, like I'm like, you're making a thing. You're sewing. It's like it's cool. Like, and because we know other like designers, like we know like small brands of people who make everything themselves, and
very different though.
Yeah, it is. You're right. It is very different, but
because they get to be creative, they get to be the person who made that. And I think when you're working in a factory, you're doing one step of 100 steps that involves making a single pair of jeans. I don't think you feel that ownership. I don't think you feel that like the freedom and like creativity and like being your own, doing your own thing. Like it's very different, and I think that's part of it. Like culturally, like we kind of like don't like. I'm not saying that like that is a lesser of a job or anything like that. Like we all like have areas of your job, even when you're you are working your dream job, you still have that part where it's like there's restrictions, there's certain things that you can't do like the way that you want to do. So I'm not saying it in any demeaning way, but I think we are all kind of as a culture, we kind of like moved from like having a little bit of your freedom and your creativity and your own decision making process to be like a part of your your career, your work identity. So like when you don't have any of that, I think it's a little bit hard for people to swallow. That is like
I don't know. Again, I'll like there's a lot of jobs out there that like you're not your own boss. You're not. You still have to do whatever function it is of the business.
I'm saying. Yes,
right?
Yes.
But for me, like the difference between like if I'm making something, there's not everyone is going to be their own boss, right? Most of us work for somebody, right? That's just the way it is. And like there's one thing, like if you're at the mall pouring food in the you're working in the food court, right? you know, if you're making a hamburger or if you're working the cashier, like that's a fine job. I've been there. But like making something to me is like, again, to me, because it's my own personal interest, to me, there's a more satisfying part of like, I have a skill, I can make this, I can work that machine, I can work this machine, I can do all these different things. Whereas like, you know, if I'm just working
But I think that's the problem with the like manufacturing, like you said, like if you have the skill to like do all these different parts and you get to be involved in all kinds of things, then that's great. I think that is a very attractive job for still a lot of people on this part of the world too. But at the same time, if you're there, the efficiency isn't really there either. If you, in order to run a factory at absolute maximum efficiency, then that cannot be part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to do one single job all day, every day.
Yeah, but that's the same as if you worked at a fast food restaurant. You still have to do the same job. You're at the cashier. You're pressing those buttons, right? If you're the burger guy, if you're the fry cook, you're doing the same thing all day, every day, right? So for me, like if I had a choice between those two, I would be a sewer. And I think that even as far as long term, like how those skills can take me somewhere further, I think that job will take me further. Because even if the factory closed one day, there wasn't, I still know how to make stuff. I can still be a tailor. I can still do repairs. I can still do all these things, right? And I'm not, whereas, you know, if you're in the service industry, you're reliant on those institutions to be there for you, right? And then there's also a cap on like, you know, what you're able to do with those skills at whatever, you know, wage they're going to give you. Whereas like if I learned sewing, I can work all these different machines. If I wanted to, I could acquire them. I could start making things. If I need to do repairs, I can open a tailor shop. I can work in a tailor shop. Everybody needs clothing. Everyone needs their clothing fixed. There's for me, there's a lot more application there, and I just think it is a far more it's a more marketable skill than some of the other menial task jobs.
If we have more factories, yes.
Not just factories. And we can talk about this forever, but
no, but it's true because that is like that's a marketable skill if there are places for you to work at and use those skills.
Not even in today's society. Like you don't, if you can sew, you can fix clothes. So whether that every town's got a tailor shop. Every town's probably a tailor shop is probably hiring. Every alteration place needs a person. Even if it's not just at a factory, those places are always looking for. Every department store in every major city in the world will hire you on the spot if you can do tailoring. Every single one.
You heard it first.
Absolutely. They are dying. They are dying for tailors. They will and absolutely. Those tailor shops, you go to the whichever luxury store it is in your town, there's a tailor shop in there and they will hire you on the spot if you can sew.
All right. Let's move on.
Yeah. Shane Delahunty. Very true. Tailoring is a great skill. All right.
It is a great skill if you know how to do it.
Yeah.
And I do not agree that as just because you work in a factory that you know how to tailor.
Right. There is a little bit more you have to learn for tailoring, but you know, knowing how to sew is half of the journey right there. Right. Knowing how to work those machines, knowing how to use multiple machines. Yeah. Okay. Something about Vance Edwards. Budweiser collabs with the World Series this year. Ask me how I know. All right. How do you know? Oh, correction. World Cup. Dang, I've had far too many already.
No.
Okay, I'm not.
Yeah, World Cup. It's very. We haven't been watching it at all, but I only just read the headlines. It is extremely exciting World Cup because all the things that you never expected are happening.
Are they? I'm out.
Brazil just got out of the game.
Okay.
They lost to Croatia or something.
Okay.
So they're out of the running.
Okay.
For the cup, I guess. It's just like I mean when it comes to Japan and stuff, like there's just like so many things that are just like unexpected. I wish I was watching World Cup, but
you can.
I'm just following the headlines.
I've watched a total of probably
4 minutes.
4 minutes of World Cup action this entire time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I just feel so left out.
Melody Murray writes, how would you recommend learning sewing? First, I would say get yourself a sewing machine. You can get one for relatively inexpensive on Amazon. There's a Singer heavy duty machine. It's like under $200. That's the one to get. YouTube is your next step. A lot of great tutorials there.
I mean, you can certainly self-teach with YouTube and all of that stuff for sure, just like anything. But it might benefit you to, like, if there's a local, like, sewing class at your, local city hall or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that's also a good way. I think that, like, if you don't know at all, I think it might be a good thing to learn in person. Just because, it's a lot of things, you might miss important step if you're just like watching random YouTube videos.
Yeah. So there you have it. But yeah, I would say that even at the very least, the investment is not particularly high to get into.
Yeah, I mean, sewing machine, like
you can
nowadays, I don't think every single home has a sewing machine, but it was very much of a thing until like literally like 5 years ago, probably. Like every single house had a sewing machine because you kind of need it. Sometimes you just need it.
Yeah.
You can't just do everything by hand.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. Ju Young Song writes, any news on True Guy? Coming soon.
Yeah.
Coming soon. Every question you have about where is something right now?
Yeah.
The answer is coming soon.
There is no date.
Yeah.
The only thing we have a date for is the blanket line denim, and they will come on the 16th.
Yes.
Next Friday.
Next Friday. BD, can you say what the price point on the MIJ 10 pieces will be? Coming soon. Risa has a price. Okay, so Risa's going to check on that in a second. Austin, Naked and Famous World Series. Cuba times cigar denim.
Is the World Series going on now?
I don't know. Britain x Imperial Big Ben denim. Cote d'Ivoire lining denim. Peru. There's a lot of... you can work with local designers by audition. Yeah, American Idol. That's our... We'll have me, Brandon, and Risa at a table, and people will audition to collab with us. Who will be the mean one?
I don't know. Me?
Yeah, you can. This is disgusting.
Brandon. Brandon could be a very good mean one.
But yeah, no, I'm like Indonesian batik and things like that. I'm down. I like this type of cultural artisanal products. We're right now in the process of developing the Dios de los Muertos denim. So I want to Dios. Did I say Dios? Dios. Sorry, my Spanish is not.
Okay, before I forget, can I announce the prices?
Yeah, we can do that.
So the MIJ 10 Okayama Spirit, made in Japan, will be $315 retail for jeans and $494 for jackets.
Okay, there you go. $315 and $494 on.
And I
the
know
jackets.
for a fact that those jeans are in Canada.
Okay,
it's not.
It's not arrived in the warehouse yet, but on the way.
Yeah.
So there you have it. guys. That's the price on the MIJ10. Smoke, Naked and Famous design contest for an upcoming release. Maybe. We're having design contests right here. This is it.
The thing about our thing is like it's not like design. Like design contests are usually
but yeah, we are doing the Day of the Dead, Mexican Day of the Dead. We're working on that right now. Conceptually, this is my idea. Whether or not it becomes this, it depends. But the idea is that we use a Mexican grown cotton base. So like a Mexican upland cotton. Anyway, we're gonna figure that out. And then the leather patch, I would like the patches. So like with the Chinese New Year denim, we do a new patch every year, right? Depending on the zodiac, Chinese zodiac. With the Day of the Dead, I don't want to release the same jean every year. It would be that fabric base, but what I would like to do is collab with like a different artist every year to do a different leather patch. So the leather patch would update every year, and we could have different graphics there. And it would be kind of like a running, not like a core item where it's like it's always in stock, but like it's an
Chinese
annual.
New Year.
Yeah, it's an annual item.
Yeah. And I would love the selvage edge to be like a Mexican blanket kind of colors.
And like that gradient color. Yeah.
Like very vibrant colors. Yeah. But I think Mexican like cotton part is gonna be the challenge because in Japan we're not like considering like when Mexican cotton doesn't have a place so much in Japan, and we still have to make a fabric in Japan, which means that like they need to be importing cotton from Mexico to a certain degree. Like it has to be an established thing, and we can't just be like, oh, we want to order cotton from Mexico, and they just get it and then they make it into yarns and blah blah blah. It's a way bigger thing, so that might be not up to us.
Yeah. So sourcing the cotton is gonna certainly be part of the challenge. But anyways, that's the concept. We'll see how far we can get with executing that. I like, it's like with the Chun-Li denim, we use specifically Chinese silk. Within that. So, anyways.
Yeah, but like silk is like
silk is
a lot of silk comes from China. So yeah.
But anyways, we'll see where it goes. But that is the basic concept. Doing things around holidays and things like that, I think are kind of a fun way to make new jean ideas, concepts. Okay. You know what I mentioned at the very start of this video, and we didn't do it yet?
Yeah.
How to shop for jeans for somebody else. Mm-hmm. It actually isn't too much different than buying jeans for yourself. Right. But for those people who are, considering jeans for a gift for the holidays, obviously you want those jeans to fit. Some considerations. If it's for dad, and he's not a raw denim guy, get him something with stretch. Mm-hmm. Stretch is a good option. Yeah. Cashmere stretch denim is on sale this weekend. It's on sale right now. It'll be on sale until the sale ends on Sunday, so the 11th.
That is a good gift because everybody can appreciate cashmere. Mm-hmm. And everybody, to a certain degree, I think, can appreciate dark, clean denim that doesn't look like it's crazy or anything. Yeah. It's just very classic looking denim.
We've got that in both men's and ladies' fits. So if you go on Tate and Yoko or Naked Famous Denim NYC, just look up the Cashmere Blend Denim. You'll see it's on sale. There's also a banner at the top of the page that you can click. It'll just take you to the product right there. Great option. What you want to do, like how you would measure for your own, if you have access to their jeans, sometimes you don't have access to mom or dad's jeans.
Break into their home. The pair of jeans that they always wear. Don't
do anything illegal. We don't encourage it. Do the measurements. So if they can, maybe if you can, sometimes you can. Hey, I might be buying you a pair of pants for Christmas. I just want to know your size. Right? But if you have to guess, right? So sometimes dad is going to tell you, oh, I wear size 34.
Yeah, do not believe that.
Yeah, but Well, maybe his jean size is a 34, right?
Right.
Like, if you're working on the very bare minimum fact that all I know is that the jeans that dad wears or mom wears, whatever, is the tag size that they tell me. For dad, if it's a size 34, that measurement at the very least is going to probably be 35 and a half. So just use that as a gauge and then buy a stretch denim. Right? So if dad's wearing a size 34 jean, it probably measures out to 35 and a half, maybe 36, possibly even 37. If you're in the range of like 35 and a half to 36 in terms of measurement size, get him something with stretch. You're going to be fine. At the very least, you've got a very good chance of that jean fitting. And at the very least, we can always accommodate a swap-a-rino on that.
So during the holiday season, we are lenient on like the return window more than usual.
Yeah. So you can just send us an email and we can help accommodate that swap out. But of course, you want those jeans to fit. So just bear that in mind. Remember, the tag size does not correlate to actual waist measurement. Guess up. If you can get the measurement of the waist, at the very least, you need the waist, right? Everything else, you might be able. If dad's got big legs, don't get him the super guy.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Get him the easy guy. You'll love it. Focus on comfort.
Mm-hmm. Blue comfort is a good option. I was gonna say.
Oh
because it gives it has a lot higher stretch content, so the margin of error can be a lot bigger.
A lot higher. Yeah. So blue comfort would be another great option. These jeans don't have they have no stretch actually. But they may make a great gift. Anyways, this is the blanket line denim. This is what's coming out next Friday.
Yeah, this is something you want to wear like a little bit on the larger side too.
Yeah.
Like not just because it doesn't have stretch, but also like
it doesn't have as much give.
It doesn't have much give, and also like these are type of jeans that you don't want it painted on your leg.
Yeah.
Like you want to enjoy the softness of the fabric.
Yeah.
So,
anyways, we have
it drapes nicely. So if it's a little too big, it's not gonna look like you're wearing a cardboard box.
Yeah, just so long as they're hemmed to the right inseam, they're gonna be fine. And if you're buying jeans for dad, unless you really know his inseam, don't request the hemming.
Yeah,
just
because you can.
You can,
hemming is easy. You can you can do that at your local tailor, or you can probably do it yourself too if you have a sewing machine. If you have a sewing machine,
or a local tailor who has sewing skills. So you can always get a job. You can sew. But yeah, the blanket line denim, very very cozy, comfortable. Videos coming out next week on these. It's like wearing a blanket for your legs. It's like kind of wearing like a billowy sweatpant. They're very very comfortable. Anyways, I'm looking forward for these to come out. What's another great gift jean to consider? Cashmere. That's why I put her on sale this weekend. I was just like, I know a lot of people do their Christmas shopping. I might as well put that one on sale for some folks. Blue Comfort is a great option, just because the stretch is going to be there for you right away. Flannels are easy. Right. Somebody was asking in the chat about flannel sizing. I mean, it depends on the style. Like if you're wearing the work shirt, the work shirts are shorter in general. Like
work shirt also is like the design of it. It kind of makes you want to wear something underneath. Yeah. Like not like button up all the way. So you might want to go size up on these, like on the. Yeah.
For me, I practically wear medium in everything. So I wear a medium in our shirts. Mm-hmm. I'm 5'8", 160, 165. These shirts fit me great. I can tuck them in. I can wear them as an overshirt open. So you got a lot of versatility with the heavyweight flannels. Yeah. But I guess the more with the button down collar ones, I guess the versatility here comes with the fact that you can wear them, buttoned all the way up, or mostly up, tucked in. If you want, you can wear them a little bit, little bit dressier if you want. I don't know if tucking in your shirt means dressy necessarily, but you can tuck them in. You can wear them. You can wear them untucked. You can wear them open. So a lot of versatility here. Whereas the work shirts are a little bit more like jacket, shacket type shirts.
But our sizing is kind of similar to like regular shirts, so that's why I would recommend maybe going up a size so that like you have room for But yeah, there are other like good gift options. We have like small leather goods. Like those are always like a good gift items.
The Higa no Kami knives. We have the brass ones in stock. They're like $38 or something like that. $38.
It's reasonable.
Yeah. So easy under 50. These are a little bit over 50, but the Munka silver pins. I don't know where mine are. Is yours? But if you go on the website, hold on, let me go find one. I've got one somewhere.
I've got one on my denim jacket.
Okay.
Yeah, Munka pins are great because they're very like they're made with they're made in Japan, and they're like a lot of it is hand done, so it's and you can see it, so it's a great like thoughtful gift, I think. And then it comes in so many designs, so like if you're a cat person, there's one for cat, if you're a dog person, there's one for dogs. Like there's a lot of options there. And it doesn't really like choose, obviously there's no size, and you can buy it for your lady or your dad or whatever. What else is a good gift? Oh, there's all kinds of like little beanies. We restocked the Naked and Famous and upstate stock indigo watch caps. So those those are very good option. Those are $36.
Yeah. So I think this one is sold out. These are both sold out, but they're relatively small. They're made with 925 silver, so they will patina, and you can polish them up if you like. But yeah, I mean, if you just put them on your denim jacket, you put them on your collar, you put them on the front pocket, they're gonna look great. There's a whole ton of different pattern options, and like there's something for everybody. There's stars, there's rainbows, there's lightnings, there's food, there's hamburgers and cheeseburgers and fries. So you're gonna know somebody who will appreciate an artisanally made pin such as this. So I love cats, so I got the cat. I also have this one with the turquoise. This one's pretty fun. This one's a much bigger one. We have some of the ones any of the ones with turquoise tend to be a little bit bigger, but they're usually they're kind of small, so they're not. This one's quite large, but that one on your denim jacket, it's going to look real nice. So consider the Munka pins. These are great gifts for denim lovers, and especially people who wear a lot of jean jackets. It's an easy piece to add on. So yeah, there you have it. Okay. Sounds like our shipment of Wonder Looper sweatshirts have arrived. So I'm gonna leave it there, everybody. Great chat. We'll be back again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel right here on the Naked Famous Denim YouTube channel, 7 p.m. Eastern. Before you go, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. And we'll be back very soon with more denim related content. Of course, if you have questions for us, leave them in the comment section below. If there's any topics you'd like us to cover for next week, let us know again, and we will see you guys real soon. Okay? Right. Bye-bye, everyone.